What is up, Overinspected, you goofy goobers? Okay, never mind. That was an absolutely terrible beginning, so I'm gonna start again. Okay.
Do you want to redo? We can keep it. Okay.
What's up, Overinspected family? It is us, the Overinspected co-host. I guess we're the Overinspectors. Are we the Overinspectors? I always forgot. We set this up.
I think we would be the. I feel like we're just called the inspectors.
Oh, we're the inspectors. Okay.
We're the inspectors.
The listeners are the ones that are taking it to the next level, taking us to the over.
Okay. So the listeners are the Overinspectors. Okay. So what's up, Overinspectors? It is us, the inspectors here. Manu, Carrie, and Chai. It sounds so dumb. It sounds so stupid.
But the dumber the better.
Okay, whatever.
The dumber the better. Yeah.
Anyway, what's up, guys? It's Manu here with my good co-host Carrie and Chai. And we're back with another episode, and today we're going to talk about basically what we've already been doing, some pure memery, buffoonery, absolute ridiculousness. There we go. That's another synonym.
Oh.
I already messed this up, man.
Cinnamon?
Wait,
hold on. So I didn't realize if you said synonym but swap the M and the N, it would literally be cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Yeah, I think it would be.
Yeah, I think it is.
Condiment. Because like another word,
minimum, like
minimum you wouldn't say.
I don't think minimum can be confused with anything.
But there's a few words out there that are like that. That's like really hard to say. I can't think of one right now,
synonym, cinnamon.
Yeah.
Now I can't say cinnamon anymore. I can only say synonym. Anyway.
Well, okay, I feel like it's getting off track because we're talking about memes.
We're talking about memes, and we are the forget calling us the inspectors. We're just the memesters. Just call us the memesters now, because we are very versed in the meme content, and we are very good at creating memes, as you might be able to tell. But anyway, the whole point of today's episode is, it's a nice lighthearted episode. We're celebrating Mother's Day today, and I thought, a good idea.
Shout out to the mothers of the world.
Shout out to the mothers. And we thought it might be just a fun idea to talk about some of the memes that have been floating around the cubing community for a long time, that people always refer to, that you'll see somewhere on like some internet forums or Discord groups or whatever. So yes, let's discuss. Well, I think one of my favorite, one of the, I think the dumbest memes to ever exist from cubing is the meme "I'm in Nebraska." Like,
yeah, I was just
I'm
thinking
in
of
Nebraska.
that one.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which one you're gonna mention first, and I wasn't gonna guess. Actually, I don't know if I know this one.
You don't know "I'm in Nebraska"?
Well, maybe
you can talk about a little bit about the backstory, Manu, but I'm in Nebraska is such a stupid thing that happened.
Okay, I actually don't know all the backstory actually, but I think so. Okay, from here on, this is all speculation. I think the way that "I'm in Nebraska" worked was, okay, so also we should preface by, we need to introduce this group called CF, Cubix's Friends. This is a Facebook group, and that's how you know that it's really old. It's a Facebook group that was, I think, originally founded by Cubix, this OG YouTuber, Albert Yu, and actually someone I knew. I used to play badminton with him, actually a decent amount. Yes, so he founded this group as a way, I think, to just get like cubers to kind of like communicate. It was like Discord, but like before people used Discord. It was this like little Facebook group that people would post and talk about cubing in. And at some point, I feel like around 2016 or so, it went from like being like more like real cubing discussion into kind of a meme palooza. And one of the memes that came out of this was "I'm in Nebraska." And I think the origins of this were I think it must have been Nats 2017, because I think this is the point where they started to do like little teasers about like where Nats was going to be held the next year. I think the first hint was Nats was going to be held somewhere where it hadn't previously been held, in like a new state. And people were like trying to put in like their guesses. It would be in one state, the other state. And at some point, someone said Nats 2017 is in Nebraska. And for those of you who live outside the United States, Nebraska is one of the states, and I think
don't offend the Nebraskans.
I think it's one of the most random states in the country.
Oh my god!
I'm just gonna say it.
Well,
it's so random.
I do think that like if you like draw the entire United States and calculate the geographic center, I think it lands in Nebraska. So, like,
really,
people might call it. I know like a flyover state is like an offensive term, so I won't say that. But I think that like being the exact center of the country is like an achievement, right? It means that like people have to travel the least if you like add up all the distances they come.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's Nebraska, and I think at some point someone obviously posted as a meme that Nats 2017 is in Nebraska, but because they posted it was in Nebraska and not that they weren't guessing. They said that it was gonna be in Nebraska. I think people like took this as like a real thing, and then at some point everyone was like memeing on it. Everyone's like, oh, like Nebraska is so random. Why would you have it in Nebraska? Why not have it in like Chicago or New York or Atlanta? Something like that. And then at some point the meme evolved into turning into I'm in Nebraska. And
I was gonna ask, like, why is it I'm? Because that's like a person is in Nebraska.
Right. And I think the whole thing was like someone went to this is what it was. I think someone went to Nats. I think 2017 Nats was held in Indiana. And so I think people went to Nats and then they posted I'm in Nebraska even though they were in Indiana as a homage to the fact that someone said that it was someone mistakenly said that it was going to be in Nebraska. And I think from there that's what it took on like a life of its own. And then after that I saw people on Facebook, they would be posting about random concerts they go to in California saying that like I'm in Nebraska, or like you go travel anywhere and you're like, oh, I'm in Nebraska. And for some reason it just blew up, and it was funny.
Do you know like who the first person to make that post that was in Nebraska? Do you know who it was?
I actually don't. This is speculation, by the way. So, but this is what
okay.
I have a vague recollection that it involved something about Nats, and some people thinking that it was going to be Nebraska.
Because I feel like with a lot of these memes, it's like someone starts it like completely unbeknownst to them that like it's gonna ever take off in the community. And like that one mistake they make just like starts being spread by like thousands of people.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like that's how like a lot of memes start. They're single point events, and then they just like grow a life of their own.
Yeah, I mean, I know they always say like if you try to force a meme, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, true.
And this is definitely one that seems not forced. But I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of like this modern meme that's like not inside the Cuban community. You know the only in Ohio memes?
Yes, I do.
But like they're also picking like a random state, right?
Yeah.
And like, I guess the joke there is like, I don't know, that like crazy, I don't know, like natural disasters happen in Ohio and nowhere else. But like in Nebraska, like, I don't even know. Like I know they have like a really big stadium in Omaha or something, right? Like I don't know anything else about the state.
Probably. I mean, I only know 3 things about Nebraska. That's Omaha and Lincoln and nothing else. Those are the only 3 things I know.
Right. I feel like when we're letting down if we have like 100 viewers, we're probably letting down 1 viewer.
Yes, that's true. So if you're from Nebraska, let us know what's great about your state. I'm sure there's something more than just Omaha and Lincoln.
I know. I feel so bad because like I used to be obsessed with like knowing a fun fact about every state.
Yeah.
But I've forgotten. So I guess.
No.
I guess.
See, I was trying to look through CF a little bit, but there's not that much information of like how it started. But my recollection of how it started was a little bit different. And
okay.
I don't know if it was like true, but I thought Ryan actually went to a competition in Nebraska. So Ryan.
That's.
I thought
possible.
Ryan went to a competition in Nebraska, and was asked about organizing a competition or doing something related to organizing nationals, and he responded, "Sorry, I'm in Nebraska." Which, by the way,
that makes sense.
That sounds exactly like something Ryan would say, but I don't know how true this is, because obviously at that time everyone was already saying I was in Nebraska. So like, I think that might have already been the time of the meme.
I mean,
But-
that also sounds believable.
My understanding is that Ryan started it by accident, and then over CF, everyone started saying, "I'm in Nebraska," like, and then "I'm in Nebraska" posts average of 5. I'm in Nebraska, but I'm somewhere else, and then stuff like that. And then U.S. Nationals announced a Nebraska comp on April Fool's Day.
Oh no way, really?
Oh my god.
That's what
Wait,
I recall. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know exactly how true this is. I recall something about Keeping USA introducing U.S. Nationals in Nebraska as an April Fool's joke.
Wait,
or it was at least
that's
a
so
joke.
funny. That's so funny.
So that's my recollection of it, but it does.
It was
I
Ryan.
don't know if that's true, but I'm in Nebraska feels like a very Ryan thing to one do, because he goes to Nebraska and he goes to the middle of the USA, right?
Yeah.
And then 2, it sounds like something you'd say.
True.
Well,
true.
all roads lead back to Ryan, you know.
I
like-
wouldn't
I
be
feel like it.
surprised.
I like to call Ryan the Rubik Cuban community mafia.
Mafia.
I just don't think the Cuban community can like exist without him, but like also at the same time, no one realizes that he is involved in the Cuban community. You know?
I see what you mean.
Like-
It's sort of like Max Miller in the music world. Like he's like written secretly like every pop song, but you don't know it's him.
Oh, pretty much. Or like for the equivalent of like the artist today, like Charlie Puth, he writes everything.
Oh yeah, you know the song
Yeah.
like "Stay" with Kid Laroi, Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was written
So
by Charlie Puth.
that's how I
That
feel
doesn't
about.
surprise me.
Maybe we should stop talking about it so Ryan can stay Cuban mafia. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're
Anyways,
exposing
Yeah,
him.
we should have
We're not
his name up.
I'm in Nebraska was a good meme. But kind of staying on CF, the one I never understood was we gotta unpack a little bit why Antonio Cam
Oh,
was a meme.
I actually have no
the way
idea.
that meme worked was like people would post polls of like literally anything, like oh, like what do you average, or like what's your main, or like favorite cubing memory, and like someone would always put a poll answer as Antonio Cam.
Antonio Cam.
Wait. So
Like,
I think.
regardless of what the question was.
So I think going back a little bit, I feel like the polls themselves were also like a meme in the community, because like there were people getting banned for posting too many polls.
Oh, yeah.
On that
Yeah.
forum.
Well, I felt like people were like posting polls about like the most non-cubing related things, which is like fine, I guess.
There were literally people posting polls about polls.
Yeah.
So like they would say like polls, yes, no. Antonio Cam.
Antonio Cam. Yeah.
Yes,
after
no,
that, like-
Antonio Cam.
Like, what do you think about polls? Like polls about polls. Yeah,
It
well,
was,
I
it was a
don't-
scourge. I would call it a scourge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was interesting.
Does Cubis's friends have must have moderators, right?
Yes. So one of the funny things is one of the guys. Okay, so I remember when mods first got added to Facebook groups, and I remember CF in particular. There was like a mod application, right? And one of the things is like being involved. One of the mods, I think his name was Bernard. I think like I did not know who this guy was, except I only knew him through the context of CF because he was like one of the people who would spam the polls. And like I say spam like lightheartedly. Like he would post a lot of polls. And at some point people I think knew him as like the poll guy. But you know, and he was
But
like,
he was a moderator.
yeah, he was a nice guy, right? Like it was like there was nothing wrong about it. But I just thought it was funny because it like I only knew him as like the poll guy, but when his
guy.
like name came up and like the like oh these are the mods, I was like, oh, that's the poll guy.
I think I mean, there's nothing wrong.
No,
with
go
poll.
ahead.
I feel like it's like a human desire to want to know like where does the community stand on all these opinions. So like if you fire like 10 polls at the audience, it's like I can see why people like doing that. But
It is
I mean there
funny.
is a limit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Polls are just interesting. I think polls also stirred up quite a bit of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, depending on what the poll was about. I mean, like, I can't think of any polls right now, even if I wanted to, but I'm pretty sure, like, in general, because polls were, like, being posted so much, people just, like, chose the stupidest answer. Like,
Yeah, that's also true. People would like ironically pick.
yeah, they would pick it, like, oh, you know, just to spite this poll, I will pick this one.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's
right.
like you never have, like, a 100% poll distribution.
Right, yeah, never.
Oh yeah, like there would always be like 97%, 3% something.
Yeah.
If it was something that was
Like it's like, are you human? Yes, no. Antonio Cam. Antonio Cam gets 100%. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
that bad.
exactly. Well,
And then like you could do yes, no, Antonio Cam, and then maybe, and then you just put like everyone just like one person has like a maybe on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the poll's also not anonymous, so it's like you can. What I felt was like super like. What's the word? I don't know what the right word is. Like a little unsettling is like. Sometimes people would ask like, "Who did you vote for?" And then like people would like, like I guess in like a presidential election or something, and like, I mean, like I guess like, I have nothing to hide, but also like, isn't there like some law that says like you're not supposed to reveal who you voted for? And in the fact that like it's not anonymous, you can like click on their profile pictures and see who voted what.
Oh, I'm pretty sure like, I think on CF, actually not that long ago, I think there was a controversial poll of which Roe Hessler tried to vote on the poll.
Oh, I heard about this, and then like clicked on the wrong
option. I think he clicked on the wrong option, or he was just hovering his mouse over to like see who answered what, right? And then I think he clicked it, and then someone caught it, and then he started getting berated. Like he never intended to click on the answer that.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I saw.
And he had to make an entire apology post about it.
I was gonna say like I saw the
sorry
apology.
about this. F you, and F you. Or I don't know what the apology post was about, but he essentially apologized, but it was kind of like it's kind of annoying that you even have to like do that.
All right, the polls have gone too far. It was funny. It was funny at the beginning, and then now people are taking it way too seriously.
Yeah, it was some like poll that had to do with some human rights. Like I forget like some minority, but like I feel like it's so risky when it's like, oh, if you just misclick.
Yeah,
because you can. I mean, like it's really easy to.
I know. Well, I feel the same way when it's like on Twitter or something. If you accidentally like a tweet, like that information is like public. But like, yeah, I think when it comes to the polls, they started out as just a fun joke, and now they're getting too serious. So let's just make them fun jokes again.
Yeah, we got dial in the back. Okay,
See,
so
here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, okay, I was gonna ask. So why did Antonio Cam start getting added to the polls?
I don't know. Well, I
No
feel
idea.
like he started getting added to the polls like before I even knew who he was.
Right. That's how I started to know who he was.
Because like
I think he was in WRC already at the time of the memery, like the memery of that time. I don't know. Was he in WRC? We'd have to. I don't know why we don't know this part about him. We should have just asked.
I know.
But I think he was probably. He hasn't been cubing for that long. I'm pretty sure he's been cubing for less than me.
Oh yeah, well for sure, because.
And I feel like the timeline, he turned into a meme relatively quickly after he started cubing. So I don't know how it happened.
Well, I think it was like over the course of the pandemic, right? Because like.
Probably.
Competitions in the US didn't really start opening till like late 2021. And I think by then I'd already like seen his name all over Cubix's friends.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's a good guy. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. He's hilarious, but like,
I'm sure
it's just so strange.
Like gotten his name out there through like, I don't know, like the WRC or something. You said. Well, I was gonna say earlier that I was not sure if Cubix's friends was like kind of like Fight Club, where you're like not supposed to mention it outside of Cubix's friends. But I guess like now that the cat's out of the bag, it's like why not?
Oh really? I never heard that there was any like Fight Club rule about it.
I mean, there might not be, but like.
Wait, whatever happens in CF stays in CF? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe, or I guess like.
I feel like that's a PF thing.
Oh well, no, not
there
PF.
certain PF is like the more extreme, like the Cubix's friends for Cubix's friends. I feel like.
Wait, you're so right.
Everything and like doubling the stupidity.
Wait, you're so right. Oh my god, man. And I think PF is like Pizza's friends.
I know it is Pizza's friends. Well, because like Cubix's friends will sometimes have like logical discussions about like puzzle theory or like. I mean,
I like how you say sometimes.
It doesn't happen that often.
I feel like it was
like,
pretty rare.
Like I think like you'll never find a serious post in PF.
Okay.
That's true.
But then, like there are also like the more specific Facebook groups for like just FMC,
Right.
And that's probably where the most like actual discussion happens. I do think we should like get back to the memes. I guess PF itself is a meme, so like that's technically on topic.
Yeah, I think there were like a lot of PF spin-offs too, right? Or I guess CF spin-offs.
So like a part of like why I think this is a topic for us in general is because I think we started to notice that a lot of people didn't even know about some of the memes. I think we were talking about 625 and how a lot of people didn't actually know where 625 came from.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
we can highlight that a little bit, but like honestly, a little bit part of the reason that this podcast exists is meme education.
Yeah.
I forget, was that like one of our like motivations when we first started? Like we gotta let the public know.
It was one of my motivations for sure, because I was like, people are starting to not know what 625 is, and I'm just thinking to myself, really?
Oh no,
know,
dude.
it's like...
Here we go. Just we're documenting the history, and we're like publicizing it for other people to know. So that's the education part. But we're also doing, well, we're not really doing any research. We're kind of just saying whatever we remember. But we're also documenting it because no one has written down like the history of 625 or like the history of like CF, right? Those YouTube videos, those like Wikipedia pages, they don't exist.
I know, and then like when this whole cubing world, when it's all over, we want to make sure there's at least some archive that documents it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what this is. Thousands of years from now.
Thousands of years from now, people will still remember CF and people remember Antonio Cam and whatnot.
But only if we talk about it, which is why we're talking about it.
Exactly. Yes.
Do you guys remember, or do you guys have like a good description of how 625 happened? I feel like not a lot of people know where it came from.
I feel like it's like a simpler one to explain. It's just that like
it's an easy one, pretty much. It's so basically, long story short, 625 is a meme that really has no business being a meme, now that I think about it.
Really?
But
I think it's kind of funny.
I mean, essentially, Mitch got a 6.25 single
like
a long time ago.
2013.
Yeah, but at the time, he didn't even have a sub 10 average. So I believe that single put him like 10th in the world.
Oh yeah, I remember. I made those history bar graph videos.
Oh yeah.
And before I even knew like Mitch himself or the 625 meme, I do remember like seeing that bar like shoot up the charts from like someone who had like a much slower average.
Oh, that's so funny.
And like,
oh god,
I think it was 8th in the world at the time.
8th in the world.
I remember like I watched the solve video and like he gets like a 8-move last layer. Let's see if I can. Wait, don't watch me in case I get it wrong.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was like, wait, I can't see what the camera is showing, but it was like, I
think your camera's off.
Yeah, I think your
camera's off.
Yeah.
Why is it off? But it was on just a second ago. When did it turn on?
Oh, there we go. There, now it's on.
Now it's on. Yeah.
Wait, I can't see myself though.
Oh, awkward.
Oh, but
yeah, so
awkward.
I just have to guess.
It's off again.
It's off. Wait, what? I'm not like I'm just like scrolling from like one window to. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're back.
It must be on. Okay. Now I can see everything again. I don't know why Discord was weird. I think it was this last layer, like you know, the 8 move.
Yeah,
COLL.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, and I just, you know, I guess if you have an 8-move last layer and you get like what 5-second F2L, then there you go. 6.25 seconds.
So if you guys are like curious what it's equivalent to, I mean 625 is essentially equivalent to 3.97 today. So like, you know, Mitch wasn't sub 10. It's essentially, if I got a 3.97, that would be pretpretty equivalent.
That's
maybe wild. Yeah, it would be pretty equivalent. So like that would become a new meme, 397. But that's the wild part. And then everyone just started saying 625. And then
wait.
Now the running gag is he hasn't beaten it since 20.
Oh yeah, that too. But also, is this also Mom I Got a PB?
Same guy, but I think different meme.
Oh, it was a different solve.
Yeah.
Oh, it's different because Mom I Got a PB is at home.
Yeah. So basically, Mitch is famous for 2 memes. So Mitch is famous for 625, and the arguably more hilarious one is Mitch got a really good solve at home and just yelled to his mom.
I mean, that was I feel like every kid has done that. Like
Yeah, I just
I was gonna speak to kids out there who have said the same thing, but I guess though just the way Mitch said it.
So here's
really
the thing.
stuck in our minds.
I set specific ringtones to like different groups of people on my phone.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah, the next one I'm gonna do is for every Cuber phone number on my phone, I'm going to put "Mom, I got a PB" as my ringtone because I just think it's hilarious. Like now, anytime Manu texts me, "Mom."
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like if Mitch texts you, that's when it should definitely play.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You're gonna confuse
100%.
like anyone else. Like if someone manages to message you like while you're at work or something, everyone's gonna be like, "What is going on?"
What is this? Like, yeah.
I know.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
I mean, do non-cubers like do they know what a PB stands for?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
Should we define it?
Oh, no, I think everyone knows.
It used to be different. So like I think new cubers are used to saying PRs, but back in the heyday, people actually never used the term PR. I'm pretty sure Graham did that.
He was he was one of the proponents for switching. Like we should separate PB and PR and WR and WB. So
At the time we basically used PB for anything with an official result. And
I
then
remember people would say official PB.
Yeah, but it would still be PB. And then like I think what people would do is like if they got it from home, it was like unofficial PB or best
overall
at home, overall PB, and then PR, PB, WR, WB. That's like that makes way more sense.
And I think we also moved that way in order to align with other
sports,
like
right?
Sports.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
on running and
track
PRs, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. It's like if someone runs like a 2-minute mile, then the coach will be like, "That's a new PR." Sport.
Yeah.
Did you say a 2-minute mile? Wait, that 2-minute
mile
miles
is
2-minute miles. Unbelievably
something
fast.
that was like undeniably faster.
Okay,
than, like,
sure, yeah.
The other time, I mean, if that happened, like that person would probably like get all the scientists checking up on their legs because like they can't be human.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Mom, I got a PB. Like that whole video happened like way before this whole discussion about PRs versus PBs versus WBs. So like, I think Mitch was using what was like state-of-the-art lingo at the time.
I still say PB. Like honestly, that's the only term. Like I'm just used to just saying PB, official PB, PB at home, unofficial. Like I don't know. I just haven't caught on.
You're old
I know.
school, dude.
I always had to like think twice before I like open my mouth. And, like, oh my god, that's a.
Is that a PR? Pretty much. Yeah, like I have to think about it too, truthfully. I'm trying to think of other memes that maybe like kids don't know about. It's not really a lot to like talk about, but Woj is like.
I forgot about Woj.
I'm pretty sure Woj. There's nothing about Woj except for the fact that it started because it was a typo. That's it.
Yeah, I think David Jiang.
All they wanted
started it.
Really?
Yeah, well,
you know the person who started it.
Oh well, he claims to have started it. All I know about David is that like when I created Loop Over, like that like puzzle game, he was the one who got like really, really into it, and he got like a world record at some point. But he told me that he started the WoEdge thing, but like I don't have any evidence, so I'm not doubting him.
Okay. So
I wouldn't doubt him either.
So to be clear, so Woj, when we refer to or WoEdge, is just WOAJ, and if you look on your keyboard, like if you use the QWERTY keyboard, H and J are right next to each other. So it's just a typo. Someone sent that, and then for some reason CF thought it was funny and started replying Woj to everything. Like instead of using the WoW react, it was like the Woj react.
I'm gonna call out our listeners right now. If there's any listeners using Dvorak keyboards, man,
I know my brother.
Go humble yourself.
They're hyper optimized, dude.
I know.
Go humble yourself. Ain't no Dvoraks in here.
I know that like you can type like 50% faster if you get good at it, but
yeah, exactly.
No one's gonna switch. Like it's too late. QWERTY is too ingrained in our society.
Yeah, I know.
QWERTY is pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, okay, we should like spam through like rapid fire memes just so that we can so that people won't be like, oh, you forgot XYZ.
Do you remember the one meme where I think it was it Kevin Hayes when he was solving the 7x7 and it like falls apart?
Oh, exploded. Yeah, I think that was like
There was a meme related to it?
No, I mean I just remember that video circulating a lot. It was like
Oh
viral.
yeah, it was viral. It was a viral video. Very sad. Non-cubers watched it too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, his like face when it bursts and like his like mouth is like, he's like that when it happens.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
literally on the last.
I know, and it was gonna be a world record.
Yeah,
Maybe his
God.
first world record too. I don't remember. But I think it's like, yeah, there's like a lot of like cubing clips that have like broken mainstream, I guess.
Oh really?
Well, also like Felix Semdeg's like.
Okay.
More
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
Let's keep talking about the Felix Zumdex.
Well, no, let's skip it because I feel like we've already talked about it, and I think
that one
everyone
is
in this-
a
We
that
should
one
talk
is a
about
legendary
like-
world record, if you will.
Oh
wait.
yeah.
Hold on. If we're trying to think of memes, I'm trying to go through the WCC Discord server.
Oh god, dude, not the WCC.
Or the meme channel.
I was gonna say like we should talk about memes that like most likely most viewers haven't heard of, because if they keep hearing things they know, they're gonna like roll their eyes and like tell me something new.
I'm trying to think of what else was a thing back in the day. The polls is a big one. Like polls, I don't think people understood how stupid it was.
The polls are so dumb.
I know.
Oh, GT. Okay, this is like not exactly a meme. Do you guys remember GTS? Guess the statistic.
Oh yeah.
So
Guess
those are fun.
yeah.
Those are fun, but those also kind of got memeified, I think. I don't know if people still do the guess the statistics, but basically the way that this worked is there was another Facebook group called WCA Statistics, and at some point what people would do is that they would calculate a statistic for every single cuber, and then they would take like I don't know like the top 10 or whatever in this random statistic, post that, and then people would try and guess what statistic they were querying for. And the way this is all possible because of the WCA database, we've talked about that in the previous episode. So yeah, there's this thing called guess the statistic. Man, I just cannot speak today.
Guess the stat.
Guess the
That's
stat.
easier to say.
Exactly. And it was a pretty big thing. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah, and I was gonna say like it's remarkable how well people must know the WCA database and like how many different ways there are to like sub-query it, that like you can create like hundreds if not thousands of these like arbitrary stats and people will still be able to figure them out. Like you have to like really know and be obsessed with the cubing database to like even have a chance of getting it right, you know?
Yeah, and people like can still like they still like put in like very very good guesses, and then like just guess after guess, and then you just end up with the right answer. There's some really cool ones, like there's like some location based ones. I'm a big fan of the ones that are like pairs. So like there's Cuber 1 and Cuber 2, and then it gives like some number.
Oh, like maybe how many competitions they shared. Okay, that one's pretty basic.
Right, yeah,
Way to
that
have
one's
a
like
pair.
really basic, but yeah, but there's a couple of interesting ones there. I feel like those kind of they're meme in the same vein of meminess. at least.
Yeah, but I think that they're like a little more thoughtful. Like someone
Yes.
had to go out of their way to like spend like half an hour creating a query, or maybe more than that. I don't know how much time it takes them usually. But yeah, like there are some really clever statistics. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Maybe it's like one of them I remember is like how many countries each person nemesizes,
Oh,
which is like,
wow.
I mean,
that's-
there's so many you could do, right? But I mean,
Oh,
like
that-
Felix Semdegs back in the day, like in 2017
Oh.
or something. Like,
yeah, it was
I
absurd.
feel like
probably
every
back then.
country. Oh, see, I was gonna say like a location, but I don't want it to come across as racist. I guess any country that has like very few cubers is like instantly nemesized by Felix.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of which, I feel like nemesizing was also somewhat of a meme. Like not that.
Oh,
long
yeah.
ago. Like a long ago, but not that long ago. Like maybe 4 years ago. Do you guys remember nemesizing?
Yeah, Nemesis was definitely a little bit of a meme for sure.
Well, I feel
I
like
don't
it's
know.
still a thing. It's just maybe we don't care as much about it because I feel like cubers who are just getting started, or maybe are in their heyday, are still trying to get rid of all their nemesis.
True.
Or maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, I think
You know
the
what I
least-
was?
Sorry, go ahead.
You know what I was just thinking of, looping back to the beginning of this this podcast. I had
Yeah.
it stuck in my head this whole time, like words that you jumbled around the middle M and N. How it would
Oh,
sound.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So think about synonym.
Yeah.
How would you say it?
Synonym.
How would you say it?
Synonym.
Yeah, synonym.
Synonym?
No, synonym.
Okay.
Well, wait.
Synonym.
Okay. There's 3 choices of 2, so it's 2 to the 3rd equals 8 possible options. So synonym, 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 synonym. Okay, that's all 8.
Let me throw you guys a curveball now. So,
curveball?
the curveball. Think about the word cinnamon, and how would you pronounce that?
Cinnamon, right?
No, just jumble the letters. Cinnamon.
Synonym.
Is there a possible scenario where if you jumble it, can you say synonym?
Wait, if you just
Can you
swap the last...
turn cinnamon into synonym?
You're
just swapping...
So you can turn to synonym. You can turn into
cinnamon can turn into cinnamon. But can cinnamon turn into synonym?
My brain.
Wait,
why not? Isn't if you swap it, you just reverse it, it's gonna go back the same way. Right?
It's just really hard to comprehend and say, like physically say.
Why have you been thinking about this throughout the whole podcast?
Wait, is this a cubing meme?
And, well, yeah, and then like in our Discord server, whoever made the channel Aminals, you're so dumb.
that was Antonio. That was Antonio, definitely.
Aminals, okay.
Aminals, yeah.
I don't know about this.
I'm just gonna start calling Antonio a Notio Cam.
And Notio Cam. I remember in my high school robotics club, like the safety officers would call themselves safety ossifers, to the point that like I couldn't say the word like officer for like years because I would always say it as ossifer.
That's so funny.
Like, you know, like it kind of like rewires your brain.
Yeah.
If you keep hearing it said that way over and over again.
It's like just say the same word and it loses meaning.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Semantic satiation.
Dude, it's the worst one for me is chair. Like I like it'll be I'll say chair a couple times and it won't make sense. And a couple of days later, I'm thinking they still thinking about chair, and I'm like, what is chair? It doesn't make any sense.
Chair. Why chair though? I feel like chair is pretty normal. But one of them that happened to me before was apple, because like it's both the fruit and the company.
Right.
And it's like when you think about it over and over again, like, do you think tech or the fruit? And like at some point, like one of them, I don't know. It's like there's such different definitions. It's like we probably use the word apple to refer to tech products more often these days than the actual fruit.
Probably. Yeah.
Unless you're an apple farmer.
Then I don't know. I feel like for me, apple still like I still like when I picture the apple, right? I picture an apple, like the red apple.
Right, because the logo is still an apple, like a fruit apple.
I guess you're right. Although, yeah, I mean, I can imagine myself biting into an apple, like the fruit.
Right.
I wonder at what point in the future.
You reminded me of the Death Note character. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryuk.
Yeah. And at some point in the future, I wonder when like children are gonna stop associating apple with like the apple, like the fruit, and only with technology. That might be interesting.
Well, I think the fruit will exist forever. Like,
who knows, dude? Maybe random fun fact. Do you know the banana is currently going under like there's a virus that's infecting bananas, and the banana population is like under like
Did you say good?
Yeah.
Good?
The slimy yellow slugs, they need to be eradicated.
Wow. All right, I see how it is.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, the banana population is under duress, so you know the same thing could happen to the apples.
That's true. I probably should retract what I said.
Yeah, don't be so mean to the apple. Don't be so mean.
I don't know. If you had to remove one fruit from existence, it would definitely be durian.
I think most people would say durian. I would personally remove jackfruit. I don't really like jackfruit. I think it's
jackfruit. See, I feel like durian, like as an East Asian, I should be like outlawed for saying that, but yeah, no, I'm good.
But it's like the most unique. Like, wouldn't you want to remove a fruit that's like very, very similar to another fruit, so that you like people who like that one?
That's actually pretty smart.
Like, get rid of the lime because you still have a lemon.
Or like maybe like a very specific type of apple.
Like a Oh, like
That's
I'm trying
actually
to think-
very smart. A lime. Ooh, actually, yeah, you could eradicate limes and no one would care.
Whoa, dude, I
No.
don't care. I like limes.
But you have lemons.
Yeah, but they hit different, dude.
they hit different.
They hit different.
Well,
They
neither
hit
of them you can.
different.
Neither of them can you eat. I guess like they're both used for zesting.
You know
Yeah,
what
so
I think we should ask the listeners? Tell us if you had to eradicate a single fruit in the world for your own purpose or for the betterment of the world's purpose, which fruit would you select?
I'm actually really curious. We should have
Also,
a poll.
like and subscribe, please. Thank
Well,
you.
yes. We should make
Yeah,
a poll in our
poll,
community
yeah.
in our community post. or
And
something.
it'll be a lemon, lime, durian, and Antonio can.
Yeah, exactly. Wait,
And
I'm
then
so
Antonio's
gonna
gonna
do
get
it.
the most votes.
Yeah, I'm so
we,
gonna
we
do
should
it.
actually do that poll.
Oh, you can do that community post.
Wait,
Like-
I'm actually gonna. I need to set a reminder. I need to write this down or something to make this community poll because I think it would be really funny because no one is gonna see it coming.
I know it's like if you don't watch the episode but you see the community post, you're gonna be so confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God, that's gonna be so funny.
Okay, well, I will definitely do this.
Keeping the
Oh my God.
memes in existence. Antonio Cam was not dead yet.
I know. Well, the human is not dead either.
And the meme is yet to die.
The meme lives on.
But you know what is dying?
What?
Are you
Wait
gonna-
a minute,
are-
say it.
Wait, what you
You're
say?
supposed to say. You're supposed to
Oh,
say what
I'm
comes
supposed.
next.
Oh, I'm supposed to say it. I thought
Yeah.
you were. I was waiting for you to say it.
No. But you know what is dying?
This podcast episode. Yeah.
Oh, see, we got to do the collaboration.
Yeah, there we go.
You know?
There we go.
I mean,
but
we're
yes,
still working on it.
yeah, we're still working on it. Like 35 episodes in, or whatever episode number we're at this point.
Well, how to
Uh,
segue to the ending.
Yes, but it is correct. This podcast is coming to a close because it is getting late for us, and we're actually keeping our promise of keeping this relatively short. No more
Right.
hour-long podcasts.
Yeah, no
starting-
more hour-long podcast.
Starting
Wait,
this
before the-
week.
Before the episode wraps up, I just want to quickly mention that I'm in my grandma's house, which is why there's a chandelier there. And like, as Manu said earlier, it is Mother's Day, and my grandma is my mom's mom, so I feel like I just doubled up the mom in terms of
True.
like the setting.
Mm.
But yeah, I know it's unrelated to cubing memes.
I mean,
But
dude, it's fine.
It explains it. It's all
I
good.
mean,
Floor of my grandma's place, this mahjong table. Who
This
plays
is
mahjong?
The classic mahjong table.
this is
Yeah.
the source of where Carrie was derived.
Oh,
Yeah?
that's true. If my grandma didn't exist, I wouldn't exist.
True.
Correct. The
True.
lineage. We also didn't mention that we are the greatest speakeasing podcast.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, so just wanted to put that in there at least once an episode.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, every episode we have to remind them, or else they're gonna forget.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Could've-
look, I mean, Latte looks somewhat skeptical. He doesn't. He's like, yeah, like I don't really care about like which fruit you remove from the universe. Just get on with the cubing, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, I think it's time to sign off. Goodbye, listeners. I hope you had a excellent Mother's Day or whenever you're listening to this. Well, actually, it's not possible for you to listen to this on Mother's Day. Well, anyway, bye
Have
bye.
an
Yeah.
excellent week after Mother's Day.
Yeah, excellent week after
yes,
Mother's Day.
I think so.
Bye, viewers.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.